Did you hear that?
Grove Hill Memorial Park in Dallas, Texas, also known as Grove Hill Cemetery, is the final resting place of many notable Texans. These include actor Henry Calvin, former Texas Governor Bill Clements, and former Dallas Mayor Stephen John Hay. Perhaps most notable of all of them are 8 members of the famous professional wrestling family, the Von Erichs. After inadvertently picking up some evidence of the previous visit, I decided to return there recently to see if I could find more. Alright, I am back at Grove Hill Cemetery in Dallas, Texas. I was here not terribly long ago for a non-paranormal video. It was, even though it was in a cemetery, there was no paranormal intentions to it. This is the cemetery where the Von Erichs are buried, and I had always wanted to come here and pay my respects, and I finally did that. While I was here, I actually picked up a couple of things. Lexington Cemetery has like 16,000 people buried in it. This cemetery, looking for them, and I walked right by them. So I wanted to come back, and doing a full-fledged investigation is pretty much out of the question. I wanted to come and see if I could at least do a brief EVP session, because it all happened right around the Von Erichs' graves. I'm not saying that it was the Von Erichs. It could have been somebody else. But I just wanted to come back and see if I could pick something else up again. Someone's flag is blown off. I'll have to pick that up. See there, that's Mike Von Erich. That was right around in here that I picked up one thing. Chris Von Erich next to him. David Von Erich. Of course, was the first of the wrestling Von Erichs to pass away. His daughter was right next to him, Natasha. And if we walk just right over here, this is where Fritz and Carrie are right here, and then Doris, that was Kevin, David, Carrie, Mike, and Chris's mom. She just passed away a couple of years ago. One of the stronger voices I picked up was right here when it sounded like somebody saying, no, 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 right here. Okay, I think I'm going to put this. It's a little awkward. I think what would be even more awkward is if, well, I just had the passing thought, what if Kevin Von Erich pulled up right about now, and how am I going to explain myself? I'll leave this right here. Okay. I don't know if you would remember me or not, but the last time I was here, apparently someone was trying to speak to me. If this is Michael or David, Chris, or if this is Mr. Elliott or Mrs. Elliott, Mr. Pemberton, or if it's anyone else for that matter, and you want to try and say something to me, there is a possibility it will pick up on this camera I'm holding. That's how I know you were trying to talk to me before. My name is James. Can you tell me your name? Is this Sergeant Klein? If this is Sergeant Klein, I am a great supporter of the military. If there's anybody here, if you can do something to let me know you're here. I am listening. I may not necessarily hear you right now, but the camera picks up sound. I hear something on that. I have this device on the ground here that also picks up sound, and it may pick up your voice. Is this Mr. Elliott or Mrs. Elliott? George or Mabel? Is this Michael? Is Michael here? Michael Adkison or Michael Von Erich? Whichever way you would, I don't know what you would prefer. Or David? Chris? Natasha? It definitely sounded like a male voice last time I was here. If it's any of you, I would appreciate you letting me know. And you can say your name. Tell me to go away, tell me not to come back, and I won't. You can tell me to come back and see you again if you'd like, and I'll try to do that. It's a little bit of a long trip for me, but I'll still try to do it. I don't know, with all of that wind, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get anything. Say it's not a real strong wind, but it doesn't take much wind to, it's kind of like the Jed Johnson Tower. Some of that was, or well, Concho especially. That first Concho trip, the voice recorder was absolutely useless. Can you let me know you're here? Maybe it's Jack. Or Fritz. Are you still protecting your boys over here? Sergeant Klein? Floyd and W. Smith. If it's any of you. Someone named Jackson. There's some kind of there's something over there making some kind of racket. I don't know what that is, but oh, okay, this guy got a leaf blower over there. There's a leaf blower going off. I didn't personally know any of you. But I certainly knew the Von Erichs from watching wrestling. If there's something you want to say to somebody else, a message you want to deliver, just something you want to tell the world, you can try and say it. Hopefully I'll hear it. Hopefully one of these devices will pick it up. And I'll do my best to let people know. And it doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to be one of the Von Erichs. You don't have to have been famous. You know, George and Mabel Elliott, if you have something you want to try and say to somebody, the Pembertons, the Kleins, Lawson, Smith, whatever your name happens to be. Blowing, there's leaves blowing around, but I heard a somewhat significant noise from back over here. So I'm going to leave the voice recorder where it is for the time being. Looks like there's a headstone is just about buried right there. Is there someone over here trying to get my attention? Mr. Hill, I know some Hills. Mr. Hinton.
I'm sorry, I've been walking. I hadn't even been paying attention to where I've been pointing the camera. So I've every now and then I fall into old school investigator mode, and instead of cameraman who happens to be investigating mode. Like, oops. I don't know if that was Rosaline Ann Anderson trying to get my attention to pick her flowers up, but if it was, there you go. Is this Doris or Fritz or Carrie that was wanting to say something? So I know last time I was here, I was walking around y'all's graves an awful lot. Is there something you wanted to say to me, or a message you wanted to give to just anybody? I may not hear you when you say it, but it may pick up on some of these recordings. Did someone just say something? Okay. I do like to try and help people. So if anybody has anything they want to say to anybody, if it's to me or to someone else, you can try to tell me. I can't guarantee that I'll hear it or that it'll pick up on these devices, but it may be the only chance you get. I'm only going to be here a few more minutes. So even if you want to tell me to just leave and not come back, then I'll honor that, and I won't come back. On a brighter note, if you want me to come back, I'll try to come back and visit again. And maybe next time I'll remember to bring something to put on the I'll remember to bring you a gift. Okay, I'm going to take a short walk over here. I don't want to wander off too far. I'm going to leave that voice recorder where it's sitting. The last time I was here, I wasn't sure where all the graves were. It was David, Mike, and Chris were the ones I thought I would be easy to find, and I ended up finding the rest of them. And the way it was explained to me, they were all separated. They were real far apart, so I was wandering around all over here, all over the place, trying to find David, Mike, and Chris, and as it turned out, they were just a few steps away. Okay, I just want to say, just real quick, I'm gonna be leaving pretty soon. And once again, to the Von Erichs, I want to say thank you for all the entertainment. So I was just barely a teenager when I started watching you guys with world-class wrestling. I was glad to have seen a couple of you wrestle live. I met Kerry in person once. Sergeant Klein, thank you for your service. Mr. Pemberton, Mr. Elliott, Mrs. Pemberton, Mrs. Elliott, Mrs. Klein. If there is anybody here that chose to reach out and try and speak to me, thank you. And if you had any kind of message for anybody, I'll do everything I can to deliver it. If it was a message to me, I will honor it. And depending on what I find on these recordings, I may see you again one day, or perhaps that was a bird. That freaked me out. I think it was a bird. I don't know if it picked up on camera, but that sounded like it was right behind me. I'm pretty sure that was a bird, though. It just got really loud. Sorry, they kind of interrupted my speech, didn't they? Well, anyway, if there is anybody here, thank you for any kind of communication you tried to give. You're going to have to stay here, though. I'm going to leave now. Thank you all, and goodbye.